Alright then, filming a bit of Phantom M14 draft. So let's have a look at what we got. Black looks like certainly the colour we got most of. I can't see anything. Oh, I can see some pretty good stuff. 2 Quagsix is pretty good, and a Liturgy. Anyway, let's rarity sort them. Right, okay. Kind of wish it wasn't a Phantom now. And then that many black ones? Jesus Christ. So it looks like we're probably going to play black at least. Black, red, sacrifice, maybe? Volcanic geyser. Right, let's and a bubbling cauldron as well. Right, so let's go back to colour. Have we got bloodburns? Yeah, 2. Tenacious dead maybe? And we got tenacious dead, right, okay. So black, red, sack looks like it could be good, except for the fact we don't have active treason. Let's just go through and I'm just going to take all the cards from the colours that I actually like as playables and just do it that way. It's a bit of a meticulous way of doing it. But, so white is just awful. Oh, we got an opportunity. And a water servant. Condors are alright. They're not like, they're not too great. But they're okay. And then our black is just insane. I'd probably play most of these cards. Probably one dress seems fine. Genre. I guess I could play a Blur Sliver. Though I don't like Blur Sliver that much. Shock. So red isn't actually that good. Ooh, 2 Advocates and a Tuska's pretty good. And 3 Predatory Slivers, so maybe black-green is maybe looking better. But then, yeah, because we don't really have any sack outlets in maybe black-green sacrifice. Because red, but then we don't get to use our genre, which just seems a bit of a shame. Right, okay, so let's get rid of blue and white, because they are not a consideration at this point, I don't think. And then let's just assume that black is definitely getting played. So Bog Brew Witch doesn't really need to get played because it only lets me find a cauldron. I don't have any festering newts, so it just seems like that'd be a bit of a waste. So let's put all these green cards over here and these red cards here. And then let's have a look at this. So that gives us 7 creatures, 15 playables. Could easily not play the Duress. Altar's Reap is good with Tenacious Dead. And Tenacious Dead is good with Bloodburn. Bubbling Cauldron. But the trouble with having all these sacrifice outlets, I guess, is that there's not really like, without active trees and to steal their creatures, the only thing I can really sack is Tenacious Dead. And that seems not that great. But Predatory Sliver, Tusker, so if I put all them in, then that gives 22 playables, 13 creatures. And then maybe a scout or something to put the Trollhide on. I don't know, I'm not crazy about that, but there's certainly more playable. I think our green is still slightly more playable than our red. So that gives 22 playables, 13 creatures. It's not terrible. Especially since some of our creatures are so strong, like Senjir Vampire's amazing, Liliana's Reaver's amazing, Lifebane Zombie's good. Bloodburns are like a little bit underwhelming without the Tenacious Dead. 2 Quagsix is very good though. So what would the red look like? I think red would look very similar, except for the fact that I guess we could put in... Red gives us slightly more creatures, and I guess slightly more removal, but doesn't really give any good synergies, apart from the fact that we get Chandra. Curve looks a little better in red as well. Academy, I like Academy Raider. These Blur Slivers, there's no necessity to run 2 of them. And Canyon Minotaur's average. Volcanic Geyser's not bad, but it's going to be a heavy black deck. Maulhorn's good. I want to play the Fire Shrieker just because I like Fire Shrieker pretty much. I don't know, I feel like Tusker and the two Advocates might make for a better deck, and all these Predatory Slivers, because all these creatures seem pretty underwhelming, like Dragon Hatchling, Goblin Shortcutter, Academy Raider, Blur Sliver. Like, all I'm really getting out of playing red is a couple of removal spells, which are good removal spells, a Maulhorn and a Chandra. Can't really splash for any of the stuff I want to do. I don't know about which of these I prefer. This is the third Chandra I've had since I've been playing M14. I had a foil one that I sold for 17 tickets, and one that I kept for constructed, and now this one, which obviously I don't get because it's Phantom. But so let's just put these in again. So that gives 23 playables with Windstorm, which really is only a sideboard card. I could play Brindlebore, I guess. Maybe a Glade Cover Scout to put Trollhide on to make it half decent. Naturalize, I could board in, but otherwise it's 15 creatures seems okay when the creatures that I've got are so good. Altar's Reap, I kind of want to leave Altar's Reap in. If I'm going to make any cuts, it's probably going to be Duress. So that's not bad. It's a pretty low curve, but I mean, all these slivers make, I mean, the potential for what that give me, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5? No, 4, 4. All my slivers would be 4, 4 if I had them all simultaneously. And 2 Advocates with a Tusker's pretty good as well. And they're okay on their own. Got a lot of, well, not a lot of removal, but the 2 Quagmire Sickness are good. Liturgy's decent. Very good, actually. Liliana's Reaver's really good. Senjir's really good. I think this might be the best way round of doing it. Definitely don't like Shrivel all that much. Seems a waste to run the Bogberry Rich. And I kind of don't really want to play. The blue looks alright as well for like... Let's have a look at what the blue might look like if I played them blue cards. So if I played the blue cards that I like, then there's actually quite a lot of blue creatures. A Scroll Thief. Maybe my blue's a lot better actually, just because I can afford to be fairly controlling, and Wall of Frost does that well, as does Tidebinder Mage and Seacoast Drake. All these Predatory Slivers, and the Tusker's good. I don't know, I can't decide which one of these I like better. Having Opportunity in the deck is awesome, and Water Servant's an incredibly good card. Don't know how good Scroll Thief is, but with the 2 Condors, he gets a lot better. I don't know if I really want to run 2 Condors, but I don't really want to drop below 14 creatures either. Because my first creatures with this build, they're going to come fairly early, I guess. Time Ebb is maybe better than Fire Shrieker. Doesn't seem great in this deck. But I quite like Fire Shrieker in any deck really. A Bubbling Cauldron doesn't seem that great in this deck. Only really has Tenacious Dead to work with. Yeah, I'm a bit torn here. I definitely want obviously I want the black cards. I either want to go a little bit more aggressive and have the green cards, or I want to go a little bit more controlling with the blue cards, and these cards allow me to be relatively controlling. I kind of would like a Disperse in there as well, or maybe a Time Ebb, maybe instead of a Cauldron. Cauldron just seems like I can only use it with Tenacious Dead, that is it. And it's, if I can get that combo together, it's pretty good. But otherwise, it's just a bit average, really. It's not really doing anything. It's not making me angels like if I had Angelic Accord or anything like that. It's literally just works with Tenacious Dead. So I think I'm going to take the Cauldron out and put in Disperse. I think it's better. I think it's a little bit more versatile than Time Ebb. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I like having a Disperse anyway. So I think I'm going to try Black-Blue. 14 creatures isn't great, but some of the creatures I've got are very good. Like, my way to win is probably just going to be Lifebane, Senjir, my Trained Condors. Outside of that, if it's a deck that's really hard to punch through, if my opponent's got, like, I could always board in the green. The green, that green there is okay, it's not bad. But I think I'd rather try this. Let's have a look at what land. Yeah, just a straight split seems fine. I think my deck wants blue a little bit earlier, but because of the 2 Quag Sickness, black's probably a little bit better. So yeah, that seems like a fine split. So I think I'm going to go with this deck. I don't really see a better deck going, unless the green's better. I'm not too sure. Yeah, we'll try this and we'll see how this goes. So see you back for round 1.